Hello, this is Matt from tracy@matt.co.uk, and I'm excited to bring you the Amazon Kindle Fire HDX 8.9, arguably one of the most eagerly awaited and discussed Android tablets available on the market just at the moment, and the one that's been released just in time for the Christmas push. So inside we have the Fire HDX itself, which we will come back to in just a moment. We're going to just pop that to one side. We have the getting started and getting to know your Kindle guide there. Nice bright orange on the inside, can't really be missed. So in the end we have the charger. So here I have a charger that plugs in, and obviously it gives us a USB socket, and it is, well, let's just actually take these off anyway because I'm going to have to use it shortly. So let's move that out of the way, and then we have folding US 2 flat pins on there. And then also inside at the end we have, move that out, we have a reasonably lengthy actually USB to micro USB sync and charge style cable. Underneath, don't think we have anything else, do we? The box seems to be fairly empty. Doesn't seem to want to open any further than that, as I think that's all we have. Yeah, the rest is just packaging. So that's all we have in the box, nothing else. There's no other guides or instruction manuals or anything like that that comes with it, but it does ship like this, which for anyone that actually buys this for somebody as a Christmas present, it's a fairly decent sort of gift box that arrives. Make sure you don't open it before you actually give it to somebody. So the tablet itself, we're going to just pop it down on the table, move these bits out of the way so we don't be distracted. So we do have an 8.9 inch display, and it is one of the most one of the highest resolutions of a display that we've actually got on the market just at the moment, and it is 2560 wide by 1600 tall, so 2560 by 1600 on an 8.9 inch display. Gives us really one of the highest pixel densities of a tablet of this size at 339 pixels per inch. Full capacitive touchscreen, which will recognise all 10 fingers on the screen in touchscreen mode, so you can do touch typing with all 10 fingers if you should so desire. There's a couple of models available. There is a 16, 32, and I believe even a 64GB model available. I'm not sure which one we have, quite frankly, but we will check that out in a moment as well. And we'll take a quick look around. So obviously we do have this large display on the front. There's a reasonably small bezel. I'm not sure how well that's sort of being picked up. Yeah, perhaps if I angle it towards the lights there. The bezel is fairly small, certainly smaller than that you'd find on say the iPad. The bezel is a little bit less intrusive as per the iPad. On the front we have a forward-facing camera as well, which are capable of doing 720p video recording, and unfortunately in my information I've been given, I'm not sure what the actual resolution, full resolution of that camera is, but it is capable of forward video recording at 720p. So looking around, on the side we have the micro USB sync charge connector. Nothing really to see seen on the bottom edge. On the back, or on this side I should say, we have the headphone connector, so we can plug in obviously a 3.5mm headphone jack, so we can use our own headphones or a wired headset. Nothing really to see on that top edge. There's a couple of microphone holes by the looks of it just there, and really on the back we have the volume control and the power button on the other side as well. We have this nice glossy sort of finish as well, with just a little bit of an accent, makes it a little bit more interesting. We then have speakers, one on each side of the screen, although they do face backwards, which I suppose is not ideal, but obviously designs lend themselves to doing so rather than having them down or forward facing on tablets particularly at the moment. But we do have stereo speakers. Then there is an 8MP autofocus camera on the rear, which looks like it's a reasonable size in terms of like the actual lens. And then we have an LED LED flash there as well. There aren't too many tablets on the market that would have an LED flash built in them as well. In terms of, well, I'm already noticing that the weight, it does feel extremely lightweight. I'm quite used to using an iPad, for example, and this is much lighter than an iPad. We are only 374 grams, and I believe this is the 4G version. Size 231 millimeters wide. We are 158 millimeters tall and extremely thin. That's the other striking thing about the Kindle Fire HDX 8.9, is that it's really thin. We are just 7.8 millimeters at the widest point. And as I say, that coupled with the sort of lightweight feel of it, I think that you're going to be able to use this for reading, watching videos and all that kind of stuff without feeling any kind of fatigue in actual usage. So let me just power up, hopefully. And while we're waiting for that to come on, let me just run down the rest of the specification. Size obviously already mentioned. IPS LCD capacitive display, 2560 by 1600 pixels. We do have the new Kindle Fire OS 3.0 Mojito user interface, which underlying operating system is actually Android OS 4 point something, Jelly Bean, but it's heavily customized specifically for the Kindle environment. The forward-facing camera we've already mentioned, 720p. Do have built-in GPS, assisted GPS support. We support geotagging with the cameras that are obviously built in front and rear, which is pretty cool. Quad-core 2.2 GHz CPU, which is a Snapdragon 800. So performance-wise, we're expecting some really special things from the Fire HDX as well. And we have built-in 2 GB of RAM. As I say, I'm not sure what the internal storage on the model I have is, but we'll find that out hopefully in a moment. We've got Bluetooth built in, and also wireless, which supports 802.11bg and wireless N standards. So pretty cool. Hopefully we'll be able to go and set up. So unlock, and it wants me to be this way round, so we'll stick with that for just a moment. So English United Kingdom. Yes, choose my region settings, United Kingdom, continue, and then we go and connect to our wireless network. So let me just do that. As you can see, just before I tap that in, you have a reasonably nice keyboard there in the portrait orientation. So let me just go ahead and sign in, and hopefully we'll connect nice and quickly. And as this is a Kindle, for anybody that's already has purchased a Kindle in the past, you'll know when you buy a Kindle from Amazon, it actually comes pre-registered to you. So that's probably why we're getting the registration status just now. Okay, asking me to sign in. Okay, so let's launch the browser basically, and it's asking me to go and sign into my Amazon account. So it hasn't pre-registered, so let me just go ahead and do that. Okay, and we've gone and signed into our Amazon account, and already I can tell you that the display is amazing. The resolution is amazing, and it's pretty bright. Let's just go and close that now, and it's asking me to register Kindle, so another thing to type in. There we go, so we've just signed into the Amazon account, and now it's asking me, well, it's basically not giving me the option, it's just going straight into download some updates, a software update for the Kindle. So I'll just pop that there and allow that to actually go through its update, and we'll pause the recording. Okay, so having got through the update process, we are then presented with the option to start a 30-day trial for Audible, which is obviously an Amazon product with audiobooks, but we're going to skip that for just a moment. And it's asking me to connect to a social account, be it Facebook or Twitter. I'm going to skip that for the time being as well, and I'll go and do that later. So we've got a presentation here, it's getting started. So we have Rolodex here of our There we go. Okay, swipe down, or we just follow this through, turn to recent content, and there we go. Well, that's very simple, but there's a Rolodex of our books, or the books that I have downloaded or I have in my account. So that's obviously already synchronized. I then have the Silk browser, email, help, camera, Amazon shop, calendar and contacts. Along the top I have shop, games, apps, books, music, videos, newsstand, audio books, web, photos and docs. I have a little connections icon in the corner showing me that I am connected to a wireless network and battery, and this is my third Kindle. Pull down at the top, we can do rotate, turn auto rotate on and off. We've got different brightness modes. We can use auto brightness on and off. I'll leave that on for the moment. Quiet time, actually I think that kind of just turns off everything else. Mayday mode, which allows us to actually get help from Amazon, and that was actually effectively kind of uses like a FaceTime type of connection for us to basically get help from an expert at Amazon. We won't do that just for now because that'll just annoy somebody. And then we've got the settings over at the side. So let's just take a quick look at settings and see what we can see. So we have information about my account, parental controls, the device itself, and we have various information in here. It's telling me that my software is up to date, as you would expect, and storage information. Let's take a look at that. So looks like I probably have the 16 gig model here because we have 10 gig free, which makes sense. So must be the 16 gig model. So we go back, and I think that's kind of all we can see in there. We go back, notifications and quiet time, display and sounds, keyboards, accessibility mode, security, legal and compliance, some other bits and pieces in there. I can see my account settings, applications, tells me what I've got installed. Really not a great deal, obviously, just at the moment that's here. So come back out of here. Doesn't look like there's a way for us to, well, immediately obvious for us to see how we can get into see what versions of the firmware that we do have installed. Swipe up at the bottom. These are all of the applications that we have just at the moment. So let's take a look at the browser. And okay that. So I'll go actually switch around to landscape orientation and go to our site. So obviously you can see there we do have a really nice landscape QWERTY keyboard. Just pop over to our site. Obviously I want to just kind of see what that's going to be like in a, you know, such a high resolution display. The text is absolutely amazing. Being IPS as well does make a difference. The text is so smooth, so smoothly rendered, it's amazing. Really is a really gorgeous display. I'm sure that's not really coming across terribly well in the actual video recording that we've got here, but you're kind of just going to have to take my word for it or go and see one of these, because yeah, the text is great. Eye strain is, I don't think, is going to be a problem here. So you can switch around to portrait, double tap to zoom in and zoom out. In terms of functionality, it really does work pretty much how you'd expect any other web browser to do, but it does look really nice on that screen. So let's pop back home and turn back around this way. Take a quick look at the camera. We don't really have a great deal to look at. Hey, look, let's just pop this in away for the time being, just for sake of testing out. So the actual display again does a really good job when it comes to actually playing around with the camera. Also, we can touch to focus and obviously setting the exposure and balance. We've got auto flash, switch the camera around to front and rear. We have different settings modes, HDR and panorama modes. Let's pop HDR on just for fun, and then we'll just take a very quick shot There we go, and then we can get into the gallery and see. That's pretty impressive. That's full zoom, but again, if you can make that out, that's picking out quite a lot of detail, certainly in this background cloth that we use here. So it's doing quite well. Not a bad camera, even picking up all the little bits of fluff on the camera in the picture there as well. So pretty good. We've got the Amazon store. We can set up email, calendar and contacts. We haven't done any of those things just at the moment. We can look at the various apps that are available. Swipe from the left, we can see various things here. If they've got a tick against them, I guess it means that they're installed. Look in the App Store, we've got various categories, and we can turn that out of the way. See stuff that's in the cloud or in the device. Oh, there we go. So that's what that signifies there. The tick shows things that are in the cloud and on the device, like so. So that's pretty cool. So there's obviously we can install IMDb and Kindle, just Skype for the Kindle tablets. We can look in the game store. It works so well. Store. Okay. It's not bringing us up what I would have expected. It's not working so well right now anyway, so I can't see a list of games. Maybe we could do a search. Would think that that would give us something. So maybe we're not, our connection isn't so great anyway. Never mind, we'll come back to that at some other point. We've got the games and newsstand videos. Go and take a look at what's available in the video store to go and download as well. Or maybe, oh, just started, typical. So there we go, a few things there that we've got streaming down in the background. We seem to have a fairly slow connection just at the moment, which is unfortunate. Never mind, I think we'll... Oh, Breaking Dawn, there we go, Twilight Saga. It's starting to go. I think we have a bit of a slow internet connection just at the moment. Obviously not a fault of the Kindle, but more of a fault of living in the middle of practically nowhere. So I think we have a slow internet connection. So there we go. I think that's enough to kind of whet your appetite when it comes to the Kindle Fire HDX 8.9. We'll have a bit more detail over the next, well, I guess couple of weeks in fact. We'll test it out a bit more, look at some of the games and install some applications, look at the actual books. Actually, that's one thing we've missed out. So let's come back and pick out a book so we can actually see what that looks like. License limit, I've actually got that on a couple of other. Try that one. I tend to read on various devices, be it my iPad, my iPhone, or several iPads, and indeed my Android devices as well. So some things we can download a bit more. So there we go. So indeed, as a Kindle, you have Kindle Controls that we kind of have come to expect. Change the view into various text sizes. I typically go for the smallest with a not white background, and take everything out to its, basically get as much on the screen in one go as possible. And obviously we do have more settings, include text to speech as well. We can add notes. Whoops. We can add notes. We'll have a page marker, that's where we've read up to in a bookmark. We can share information, and then at the side we can look in our library as well, which got table of contents, the cover page, and indeed all of sort of the bookmarks and bits and pieces in there that we can actually skip through to. So in terms of using it for reading, as I've mentioned already, it's nice and light, so holding it well, I'm holding it pretty much at arm's length just at the moment. I can still read that text absolutely no problem whatsoever. It's really very smooth. I mean, we can go sort of nice and close as the camera will allow us to focus. Even maybe a bit closer. You can see, or maybe you can't, you can barely see the pixels. It's extremely smooth, really is extremely high resolution and extremely impressive. So I will be testing out the reading, and it says it's learning my read speed in the corner as well. Hopefully perhaps that's automatic page turning. So there we go, and also we can use it in landscape as well, although I personally prefer to be able to use it that way around, because that's kind of how books tend to be. So there we go, so that's a quick look at that as well. So I'll take a bit more time to have a look around the web. We'll play around with the newsstand of videos, download some videos, and I'll have a full review for you coming up over the next couple of weeks. And if you want to ask us any questions about this, or indeed anything else we're looking at, follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/TracyandMatt, that's TracyandMatt, or facebook.com/TracyandMatt.co.uk. For the details, or to follow us on Google+, I'm plus Tracy and Matt. No, I'm not. I'm plus Matt Davis. I'm actually plus Matt Davis 1. That's MattDavis 1. Or to check out our main channel, our page on Google+, which includes all of our video feeds and all that kind of stuff, and all of the info from the other members of the team. It's plus Leodee, Leodee, which matches our YouTube channel name as well, Leodee. And I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews on tracyandmatt.co.uk, but for now, thanks for watching.